Today in this video lecture, I am going to discuss one of the important topic of human physiology, that is double circulatory system. Before that, we have to know what is circulatory system. So it is a system that is responsible for the transport of different important substances throughout our body. It is the blood that actually helps to carry different substances throughout our body, like blood cells, enzymes, hormones, and other nutrients and food materials. Moreover, it is the blood that also helps to remove the unwanted substances from our body. In human being, it is found that if the blood is passes through the heart twice in a single circulation. That's why this system is also known as double circulatory system. Now let's discuss what are the main components of double circulatory. First one, the heart, that is a muscular organ mainly responsible for the pumping of blood throughout our body. Second one is the blood, and finally third one is the blood vessels. That means the tiny tubular structure through which the blood can able to flow throughout our body. Now it is found that there are only three types of blood vessels are present inside our body. One is the arteries, that is mainly responsible for the circulation of oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery. Second one is the vein, that is mainly responsible for the circulation of deoxygenated or carbon dioxide rich blood except pulmonary vein. The third one is the capillaries. Capillaries means when arteries and veins goes or towards the body tissue side, then they become much more fine branch and tiny tubular-like structures. So that it can allow the exchange of gases from the body tissue cell to the different blood vessels. So these are known as the capillaries. Now, before we discuss how blood is actually circulated throughout the heart, we have to know the basic structure of the heart. So let's discuss about some basic structure of the heart. So as we know, heart is a double membrane structure that is protected by a double membrane wall that is also known as pericardium cell. Now, this heart is four chambered, that is right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. Besides this, there are some specific valves are also present in the heart that actually maintain the unidirectional flow of blood throughout the heart. So there are mainly two types of valves are present. One will separate the upper two chamber, that is the atrium, from the lower two chamber, that is the ventricle. So those are called atrioventricular valve. Okay. Now there are mainly again two types of atrioventricular valves are present. One will separate the right atrium from the right ventricle is known as tricuspid valve, and the another one will separate the left atrium from the left ventricle is known as the mitral valve or bicuspid valve. Besides this, another type of valve which maintain the circulation of the blood from the ventricle region to the arteries, those are also known as semilunar valves. So there are mainly again two types of semilunar valves are present. One which controls the flow of blood from the right ventricle to the pulmonary artery is known as the pulmonary valve, and the one which controls the flow of blood from the left ventricle to the aorta is known as the aortic valve. Besides this, the right side and the left side of the heart is separated by a wall or membrane-like structure called septum. The septum will separate the right atrium from the left atrium is known as atrial septum, and the one which separates the right ventricle from the left ventricle is called the ventricular septum. Now let's discuss how blood is actually circulated throughout the heart. Now it is found that when we inhale oxygen, that oxygen is reaches to the lungs. From the lungs, the alveolar region of the lungs, this oxygen-rich blood is diffused to the blood. So the blood vessel, that is mainly the pulmonary veins, that carries this oxygen-rich blood from the lungs to the heart. So it allows the blood, oxygen-rich blood, to enter first of all into the left atrium of the heart. From the left atrium, then it is pushes to the left ventricle, and when the heart contracts, then from the left ventricle, this oxygen-rich blood is drawn out from the heart through this aorta, and this aorta leads this oxygen-rich blood to the body tissue sites. At the body tissue site, the aorta becomes much more fine branch-like structure from capillaries. Through the wall of the capillaries, oxygen can diffuse into the cell. Okay, and in the same time, that is in the process of cellular respiration, the carbon dioxide that is released is come out from the cell and enters into the wall of the capillaries. So these capillaries again drawn this carbon dioxide rich blood again finally supplied to the vena cava. There are mainly two type of vena cava. One is the superior vena cava, another one is the inferior vena cava. So from the body tissue side, the carbon dioxide rich blood is taken or brought by the vena cava and it is drawn or it is allowed to enter into the right atrium of the heart. From the right atrium, it is getting diffused to the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the deoxygenated or carbon dioxide rich blood is again allowed to drawn out through the pulmonary artery, and finally it is reached to the lungs in the same pathway that was followed by oxygen. So we got to know that we got to know that the circulation of the blood from the lungs to the heart was carried by pulmonary vein, and the circulation of the deoxygenated or carbon dioxide rich blood from heart to the lungs was carried by pulmonary artery. That's why this circulation from lungs to heart or heart to lungs is known as pulmonary circulation. On the other hand, the circulation of the blood from the lungs to the body tissue side or from the body tissue side to the heart is known as systemic circulation. Hope this video will help you. Thank you.